Fantastic. Welcome. This isn't our usual opening screen that you see at our webinars, but this is the 2025 Strength and Conditioning Pre-Competition webinar for folks for Interscholastic Unified Sports. We're starting off our slideshow with some Unified Champions School stuff that we want to remind you of. Again, doing this stuff a lot of the Unified Champion School stuff you guys are already doing in your building. As a reminder of what Unified Champion Schools are, the first component is Interscholastic Unified Sports. That's why you're here for this webinar. The second one is whole school engagement, which is pep rallies, morning announcements, fun stuff like that. And then the third part is youth leadership, which can be captains on your team, unified participation in student councils, different unified leadership groups, all sorts of stuff. If and when you get the chance, take a look at this page, go to the QR code, and please fill out that form for us. Like it says, it takes about 5 minutes to do. 10 minutes might be the high side, but we need folks to fill out this form and return it back to us to just let us know that your school has done something with each of the three components. The more three component schools that we get and that we can report on our end of year reporting correlates to what kind of funding and stuff we get. Again, the international office, health initiatives across the country, they want to see that we are providing all three components, and they want you guys involved in all three components because they find it valuable, and it is valuable. So again, when you get a chance, please go ahead and do this survey for us. Also, hashtag free stuff. Spread the word day is coming up. Sorry about that. March 5th is Spread the Word Day. I know they do activities for Special Olympics International and on their social medias all across that first week of March. But if you're interested in getting stuff to host Spread the Word Day at your school, please go and request a packet. You can use the QR code or you can use the link. They will send you out free stuff, which is awesome. Additionally, I forgot to say, with doing Spread the Word Day, that checks the box for whole school engagement as well. Getting your school involved in these type of things, building a inclusive school system is what whole school engagement is. Youth leadership, if you have not done so already for the season, if you can email the names for your captains to ucs@somd.org, we will work to have certificates for those of you that do email the names in. We'll work to have them at the state tournament for you. So again, if you guys can hop on that, we want to recognize your students that have been really good captains for your teams throughout the season. Additionally, if you have any interest or if you've ever had your principal or athletic director ask about the Maryland Banner program because they've heard of it at other things we do, they can look at the information, start doing an application, so on and so forth. The Maryland Banner program is a recognition initiative that we do to essentially have the schools that are three component schools, IUS, whole school engagement, youth leadership, recognized for the hard work that they're doing. Again, there's also a national banner program, but you have to be a state banner program for so many years, so on and so forth. If you have questions, go to this link or reach out to Melissa Kelly. She can get you all the information on Unified Champion Schools. Last but not least, thank you guys for everything that you do. If you have any questions about the other components of Unified Champion Schools, the whole school engagement, or youth leadership, please reach out to ucs@somd.org. All right, let's talk strength and conditioning state stuff. Again, if you guys have been to states before at the Snow Hill facility, it's going to look very similar to how it has been in the past. I think we have found a really great facility to host us, and you're going to see a lot of the same things, but we will call out a few new things. Meredith is going to be back. She'll be at the table working with Mike Sarnowski to tally scores at states. You'll also see some more emails coming from her in the next week, and she's going to be helping us put the competition part together and maintain that at the event. Tyler, you guys have worked with him a lot throughout the season already on paperwork. Continue to please get your paperwork in. We need that stuff ASAP. If we don't have paperwork, we can't get you to states. So again, work with Tyler. He's been tracking all the paperwork and just communicate back and forth where you guys are. I know he reached out either yesterday or today about paperwork as well. And then that's me and my adventure cat. I'll be working with Meredith and Tyler to make sure all the paperwork's in line, make sure the competition stuff's ready to go, all the logistics stuff, and then on site, I'll be your main contact for what you need for the state tournament. Really quick, let's talk medical. We always have a medical professional on site, but just a reminder to you guys, as you're traveling with your students from wherever you are to the state venue, please follow whatever your district medical procedures are if something comes up. Something happens on the bus while you're traveling, whatever your procedures are for medical through your school district, follow those. We don't have anything to do with that portion of the medical. Once you get on site, we have medical, we can help take care of you. Additionally, if you have an athlete or a partner that has specific medical needs or our medical on site should be aware of something, please reach out and send me a note to my email that's on the screen. Location. We're back in Snow Hill. Again, the Worcester Parks and Rec facility and the folks that run the facility have been really, really good to us. Just a little glimpse inside of how everything works. That's a huge thing that we appreciate. President's Day is the day before strength and conditioning every year now. They let us come in the day before for about 4 hours, take our deliveries for vendors, set everything up on a day that they're closed. So they come in for 4 hours that day when they're closed to let us do all that so we can be prepared to give you guys the best tournament we can have. So again, when you guys do get to state, if you see any of their crew, they're usually wearing the Worcester Parks and Rec polos. Thank them. They're an awesome, awesome facility, and we can't thank them enough. Um, we are set to go on February 18th. We are monitoring weather for both of our IUS events at this point. And if we have to make a call on weather for strength and conditioning, the very last moment we will make that is 6 a.m. the morning of. With that said, we try to make that call the day before by noon so you can get information out to your students before they go home. The interesting part with strength and conditioning is a lot of the students aren't there on Monday before strength and conditioning. So we will work to get you information should we need to talk about a weather date or whatever it may be earlier as possible. If we need to touch base with coaches or district reps on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we'll do what we need to do. We don't want to invade your weekend, but we want to make sure you guys have the right information to take care of your students, communicate to your students, and also just have a game plan ready. We know busing is also tough. Uh, Thursday is not the 19th. Imagine if I could know what day was what day. It is Wednesday, February 19th, is the bad weather day. If we have snow and we have to push, we push from Tuesday to Wednesday. So I will remind folks, I will send a clarification email tomorrow with this in it, that if we have bad weather the week of strength and conditioning, and we can't go Tuesday, we will go Wednesday. Here's the schedule. If you were around last year, schedule has not changed. We think this schedule and the consistency of this schedule provides the best experience for you guys, not only arriving at a realistic time, but also good competition time and getting you back on the road at a reasonable time. Again, we want schools to arrive between 9 and 9:45. We're going to do team warm-ups between 9:15 and 10. At 9:45, we will do a coaches meeting. We'll get together. We'll talk about the day. Any updates between now and then, I will give to you guys. And then 10 a.m., we're going to start opening ceremony right on center court. And then as soon as opening ceremony is over, we're going to start competition. I know it says 10:30. That buys us time in case we have a little bit of a longer opening ceremony or people got to get settled. But realistically, as soon as opening ceremony is done for this, we want people going to their Group A events, and we want to start the day, especially powerlifting. As usual, lunches kind of come in at 10:30, 11, 11:30. We'll make an announcement when lunches are ready. And just like last year, we'll have the arrows pointing to a room in the back of the facility. Send a couple people out there, get your lunch, come back, eat your lunch. With that said, at 11 o'clock, as long as lunches are there and are prepared, We're hoping to take a relatively hard break at 11:30 so that everybody can eat. Coaches, athletes, management team members, officials, everybody. We want to take a 30-minute break. Everybody eats, comes back, do Group B events. We did it last year. It worked really well. And again, we will communicate during that lunch window if we need to slide that back 15 minutes because powerlifting is running a little behind. We're going to slide it up 15 minutes because we ended early for Group A events. That's all the kind of stuff that we'll talk about at the coaches meeting in the morning, but we'll also kind of communicate throughout the day. And then we have award ceremonies at 4 p.m. You guys know how it goes, though. Depending on how quick the Group B events happen, regarding how quick we get through the PT series, then we'll do awards. If I remember correctly, I think we were closer to being totally wrapped up and gone at the end of the day by 4 o'clock than starting awards at 4 o'clock. One note that I will float out there about the schedule and especially the end of the day schedule. When powerlifting wraps up, any powerlifters or coaches that are willing to help us tear down the powerlifting stuff and get it back in the trailer, it's a tremendous help to us. Again, a lot of the students that were powerlifters helped last year, and it was a huge help. Tyler, any questions that have popped up to this point?
Nope, none so far.
Okay. I did forget to mention, I've just gotten in the Zoom groove this week. If you do have questions, again, you can put them in the chat. We'll be monitoring the chat. And you can also raise your hand and we can unmute for you if you are looking to ask a question instead of type it in. Let's talk event info. We're not going to go through every detail on this page. Essentially, this is steps about coming into the facility and the way the bus route should follow. This picture essentially shows you coming in off of the main road through Snow Hill. Once you turn into the facility, buses will pull around front. We will have a staff member out front willing to greet you. They'll say, hey, come off the bus. Coaches go here, participants go here, so on and so forth. And then they'll send the bus back around and they'll park in this pink parking lot in the back. I know a lot of the District 11 school systems, they'll drop off and they'll send the bus back to the school, which is totally fine. I think District 10, more of those buses stay, so we'll push them to the back. One thing we always recommend is get your bus driver's cell phone number. When you have the bus driver's cell phone number, when you get in line for awards, you know it's probably 5 minutes until you get your awards, and then 10 minutes till you get off the award stand, gather up all your stuff, and you're out front. You can call your bus driver ahead of time. They can get the bus ready. They can bring it around. Additionally, I would recommend these two pages, the image that I was just showing you, and then the bus arrival and departure page. Print it out and have it ready for your bus driver. It's helped in situations just to communicate and that they have it. So when they come to pick you up, they know what the game plan is. If anybody needs handicap specific parking, it is in front of the rec center. There's plenty of handicap parking that's there. With that said, while for the most part the facility is ours to use for the day, they do have folks that come in and will use the facility, the weight room, an extra empty room for yoga and stuff like that. So work with the folks that are coming to use the facility that they do day in and day out. But we should have plenty of handicap parking up front. Again, as we're bringing in buses, also know that we want to make sure we get the buses in, we get students off, we get the buses clear. So when you come in, if there's a bus being cleared, wait till the bus is cleared, and whoever the SOMD person is out front guiding the buses, they'll make sure that you get into a parking spot as well. I'm going to go to the next screen first. Essentially, we have a couple different color-coded areas on the map. The main thing that you guys need to know as coaches for your team is the green section out front, including the handicap spots in the first row there of the facility. That is where we want anybody that is coming separate from your buses. Grandparents or parents or guardians that are coming to spectate, we want them parked there. We have our volunteers parked there. If you have administrators that are going to come from your school, tell them to just park out front like they normally would for the facility. Essentially, anybody not coming on your bus, tell them just park out front. but be respectful of the parking situation and us getting buses in and out as well. The other markings, just so you know what they are on the map, the light blue section is where we're going to park our management team folks so they can get in and out. Some people bring stuff in their cars. And additionally, that orange section is where we park our box truck that has all of our equipment in it so we can get in and out of it. And then the purple rectangle is where we park our big powerlifting trailer. So, again, for the most part, the main thing that matters to you guys as coaches of teams is that anybody not coming on the bus is going to park out front. Additionally, we will have merchandise for sale. We did just get a brand new shipment of merchandise in. While the type of garments are relatively the same that we've had in the past, we went new colors because people have liked them so much. So we've gone with that green long sleeve hooded shirt, regular Unified Generation shirt. We will also have hats and fanny packs and then some leftover shirts from older events and such. So we do take cash, credit cards, and we do take Venmo as well. So tell students that if they want to come and purchase merch, it will be available. Additionally, I haven't gotten the full confirmation on this yet, but I will work to and then share it with you. In the past, they've also opened their concession stand. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be open, but I will get a confirmation leading up to the event and let you guys know. Lunch might be some of our athletes' favorite events. I know it's one of my favorite events as we get further in the day because I get hungry extremely fast on event days. We will have our friends at Jersey Mike's making our lunches again. So you have the lunch options and you will get the lunch forms if you haven't done them already of turkey and cheese sandwich, a ham and cheese sandwich, or a salad that covers gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, everything else under the sun. Additionally, all of those options come with chips, cookie, and we will have bottles of water for you guys as well. As a reminder, for lunch pickup, when we say it's available, we'll have arrows pointing down the hallways where to go, but you have to navigate a little bit down the hallway to the multi-purpose room. Send 2 or 3 people from your team. We'll give you a box of your lunches. We'll give you a case of water, and we'll send you guys back to the arena. In the arena, the only place that you guys can eat is in the blue bleacher stands. You can't eat on the basketball court. They don't want you guys eating on the track either. Please go into the stands and eat. And then additionally, please make sure everybody cleans up after themselves. Again, they're a really great partner, a really great facility for us. We want to keep it as clean as we found it, if not better. One note for lunches too, I don't think we've had this in a good while. If you have somebody that doesn't fit those lunch parameters, the best thing to do, honestly, is have them pack a lunch. If they have food allergies that they can't eat anything that I just put as options on the table, pack a lunch. It's the safest thing we can do for them. Questions on parking and lunch and the other operations stuff?
Nothing in the chat so far.
Fantastic. Gave me just enough time to get a sip of my iced tea. All right. Let's talk competition stuff. For the most part, we haven't changed anything on strength and conditioning in a good long while. If anything, we kind of just harp on, we harp on a full squat for PT series and, what a full lift is and so on and so forth. Credentials. All of the non-student athletes, coaches, volunteers, paraprofessionals, team managers, we will register them based off of what was on your roster to start the season. It looked like you guys all turned in rosters. They look really good. We'll make sure they get credentials. And then any students on your team, we don't give them credentials because they end up just getting lost or dropped or whatever. But we will have you guys double check your rosters for sure prior to the competition. Again, you guys turned in scores this week. Like I mentioned, I think this evening we also have a final tournament going on. So we will get final scores. Once we have the final scores turned in from the competitions this week, that's what we'll move forward with to states. Additionally, just so you guys remember, if somebody isn't credentialed, once we show you your rosters and you confirm that they're good and stuff, if somebody shows up, an administrator from your school, or a teacher that kind of helped with the team, but you never actually credentialed. Those folks won't have access to the competition floor. They won't have access to lunches. Those are for people that are registered and have credentials. Um, we haven't changed anything, same process as years before. Remember to review the event guide. When I send you guys the recording of this and the slides of this tomorrow, I'll make sure I put the event guide in there. Event guide goes over a lot of things we are talking about tonight, but it goes over some of the stuff in more depth and detail. A good example of that is we showed the little section about parking and how buses come in. The event guide has written directions from pretty much all the major entry points to the event and the facility. So look through the event guide, make sure you know what's in the event guide. Here's the venue map. Good news is, if you were there last year, we're not changing anything. We thought that layout worked really well. The main thing that you should take away from this map is the locations of the three major components of strength and conditioning. To the left side of the basketball court, you will find all the fitness events. Doesn't matter if it's Group A or Group B in the morning or afternoon, all the fitness events happen on the left side of the gym when you walk in. If you're looking for powerlifting, doesn't matter if it's bench press or deadlift, it's all going to be on the right-hand side. And reminder, we're only using one powerlifting competition platform, which will be in that top corner. We will have a second platform for warm-ups and practice on the lower side of the right side of the gym. Last thing, this diagram doesn't necessarily reflect it perfectly because the track isn't a perfect oval like that. But we will do track events and the running events. Shuttle run, we will do walking, race walk relay, that kind of stuff, all on the far side of the track. We don't want to do it on the near side of the track because then people are coming and going to the bathroom and out to the lobby for merchandise and stuff, and it's just in the way. So again, track events all happen on the back side, and track staging will happen in the back corner of the facility in that gray area that you see there. Two other things to make note of on the venue map. One, the CC green section in the middle there, that's our main control center. That's where Mike and Meredith are going to be recording scores. If you need something, if you need to file a protest, if you need a copy of the schedule for the day, if you just have a question about where we are in the schedule for the day, go to that control center, check in there. The other thing is the awards area down at the lower side. We'll get to awards a little bit later on. But again, just like it was last year, awards happened at the end of the day in the lower corner of the gym. Staging for events, realistically, we stage in mass for strength and conditioning. Essentially, like we typically do, we have a morning session that has Group A events, we have an afternoon session that has Group B events, and then we have PT series at the end of the day. Essentially, we will say Group A events are now preparing to start in the morning. We'll make an announcement. Please report to your Group A event, and we will list them off. I don't remember exactly what the Group A events are off the top of my head. It'll be jump rope, arm hang. Go to your fitness events. And powerlifting, bench press. Report to bench press. Running, go to the track. Once your students arrive to their event that they're doing, the coordinator of that event will stage them, will get them in a line, and then they'll work them through their events. So for the most part, it's bulk staging. You don't have to listen for a specific division or whatever it may be. With that said, if we are running through something and we don't have a student that we have on our list that isn't a scratch or we don't perceive as a scratch, we will make an announcement for them to, report to jump rope. And if they don't report to jump rope, when we make that announcement and a second announcement in, 2 or 3 minutes, I think probably realistically a 5-minute maximum. At that point, we're going to give them a 0 score. We're going to move on. We're going to keep the day flowing. I don't know if we've ever had to actually do that at strength and conditioning. But again, have your coaches, assistant coaches, unified partners, and athletes all work together to be listening that say, when we say Group A events and we list those events, report to that event if they're in that one. Here's your event windows. That block A Bench press is the highlight for powerlifting. We have indoor cycling, shuttle run, and standing long jump. Again, indoor cycling and long jump will be in the fitness area. Shuttle run will be on the track. Bench press will be in the powerlifting area. One note, and I will say this in the email when we follow up, and I will reach out to coaches individually to ask and remind them as well. I think for the most part, folks have bikes or have gotten new bikes in the past few years. We have two at our headquarters office. We're absolutely bringing those two bikes. You guys know just as well as I do, if we have two bikes for the day, cycling's going to take forever. So, we're going to ask you guys to bring at least one or two of your bikes. If you have two bikes, we prefer you bring two. If we can have 6 to 8 bikes going, we will crank through cycling, and we will have a really good morning session. So again, we will remind you of that. Nothing that you guys have to remember at this moment. Again, we put 12 p.m. Last year, I think we were closer to 11:30 when we took our lunch break because the morning session moved pretty quickly. And then again, half an hour after we take our lunch break, we'll start a little countdown clock. We will start Group B events. Deadlift is the powerlifting event. Flexed arm hang and jump rope are our fitness events, and race walk relay, tongue twister for me, sorry, is in the track area. Finally, we will conclude with PT series. Last year, I think we got 4 lanes set up and that worked really well. We're going to try to do that again this year. So with PT series, I know everybody gets really excited for it at the end of the day. We get excited for it. It's definitely one of the more enjoyable and events that people get hyped up for sure. I guess powerlifting has a little to say about that. But to get PT series off and done in a reasonable amount of time, we need you guys to listen and have your teams organized. So when we get to that point where we announce we're getting ready to do the PT series, start grouping your PT series teams together so that they're ready to go, and we can just call for Queen Anne's PT series of this person, Kent Island, this person, Y High, this person, and Parkside, this person, and this person. And we can get them all set up, go, and as they finish, just start calling the next groups. That's what's going to get us through the end of the day nice and quick. So again, we will send this to you. We will remind you what the event windows are, and we'll make sure this is in your packet when you arrive as well. Competition accommodations. If you have a student, whether it's an athlete, a partner, whoever it is, that needs some sort of competition accommodation, please email us prior to next Friday, February 14th, saying, hey, Zach, Tyler, Meredith, we have an athlete that needs X accommodation. I think for strength and conditioning, a good one could be, we have an athlete that's in indoor cycling that when you say go, unless their partner reminds them like start pedaling, then they won't start pedaling. Because usually when we have an official say go, we want everybody to just do their own thing. Or arm hang. We've had somebody in the past, hey, for arm hang, I know you guys have a step up there to get to the arm hang, but we need somebody that needs assistance to be lifted and then let go of. Those are competition accommodations that we want sent to us. So please, if you have a student that has an accommodation need, send it to us before next Friday, February 14th. I said this in the Bocce webinar this week too. If you have somebody that you think might need an accommodation, you're not sure if it's one, you're not sure if you should ask about it, honestly, just send it. We'd rather have you guys send it and be like, no, that's not an accommodation, you're fine to do that, than you not send it and we get there the day of and be like, you had to communicate that to us. So please, accommodation request by February 14th. Protest stuff. If there's a protest, that is something that will go through our rules committee. We will have one of our coordinators from each of the portions of competition and our VP of sports, Mike Sarnowski, as our rules committee. I don't know, since I've been here, if we've had a powerlifting protest. Mike, I know you're floating around on the call. Do you remember a protest at any point for strength and conditioning that has been a good example we could give folks?
Um, I don't know that it's happened at US, but in the community program, it could be that on the deadlift, they don't lock their knee,
Yep.
which could be an accommodation if that's a challenge and we're told by February 14th.
Yep.
So they haven't actually lifted it the whole way, or if they drop the bar.
Yep.
I mean, certainly with we'll obviously have spotters for the bench, but if they drop the bar, rather than lowering it to the mat for the deadlift, that would also be a DQ.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think powerlifting is probably where we would see it the most. Biggest thing is that with a protest, it needs to be filed within 15 minutes of the results being posted for that event. So if Group A events end, we move on to our lunch period, and something was wrong where you think you need to protest something for jump rope. You need to go to the control center there and say, hey, I need to file a protest for this. The results were posted. If it goes over 15 minutes at that point, the everything's certified. The results stand. We move forward. So again, if you have a question, realistically, if you think something's going a little bit odd or differently than you guys have seen before, if you think that the bars are the wrong weight or whatever it may be, come reach out to one of us. Grab me or Tyler or Meredith. Somebody will get a hold of me, and then I will convene with you as a coach. We want to fix things before they're wrong, right? So again, mistakes happen on our end, on participants' ends, on everybody's end, but we want to make sure they're fixed before things go too wrong because we want the quality of the competition experience for you and your student athletes to be extremely high. So just a reminder on protests. We'll do a little reminder of the coaches meeting as well. Here's the bike reminder again. If every school that has bikes brings at least one, if not two, to the event, cycling will go extremely well. Again, minimum 6 is what we're looking for. We already have 2. So if everybody brings 1 or 2, we should be in great shape. I will remind you as we get closer to the competition. Uniforms. A couple main points about uniforms. This slide really goes over the lower extremity parts, and the biggest things are leggings can't be transparent above the knee unless they're covered by shorts. And then when it points to the illegal shorts, the reason it's pointing to those is because they have crazy designs and colors on them. If your team is blessed with uniforms that comes with a shirt with the Unified Sports logo, your school name / mascot or whatever's on it, and shorts, that's awesome. That's great. We recognize that not all schools have that. So, at a baseline, what we're looking for is to have that shirt. Every student has to wear the shirt that has the Unified Sports logo, the team name, whatever it is that look that you wear to your competitions and that you ask them to wear on a weekly basis to training. The thing for the lower extremity, we just want you to communicate and try to get them on the same color and keep it within reason across the board. So if somebody's wearing generic Walmart shorts and somebody's wearing, non-crazy design Adidas, sweatpants, and somebody else is wearing appropriate leggings to the event, we can live with that for what we're looking for. The big thing, the really big thing going into this, and the only thing that I think we had some issues with uniform wise last year is footwear. I know that these events that are happening may not be the most active and moving type of events. I know that they, outside of the powerlifting ones, aren't always the most strenuous on the feet and needing to have grip and stuff like that. Everybody needs to wear some sort of sneaker or something that has real grip on the bottom. Talking no Crocs, no slides, no Hey Dudes. Listen, I'm wearing Hey Dudes right now. They're real comfortable. I get it. They're not appropriate for competition. I know the power lifters sometimes like to wear their slides when they're casually lifting in the weight room. That's not what we're looking for them to wear. Have everybody wear sneakers. The last pitch that I will make for uniforms is it is probably in every coach across the state. We say this for every sport we do. I know we say it in the community program a lot too. It is in every coach's best interest to potentially have a handful of generic black or whatever color shorts or you want to wear shorts from Walmart, Target, whatever, that are small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X, 4X, just in case somebody wears the wrong thing. I know you guys do a great job communicating home, doing the best you can to get information into parents' hands about what to wear and what to do. But inevitably, we have a kid that gets sent to school without a change of clothes in jeans, and next thing you know, you're in Snow Hill and you have a kid in jeans. We will not let them compete in jeans. If they're wearing jeans or something that's not appropriate on their lower half, if they're not wearing sneakers or something with grip, if they're not wearing their uniform like you gave to them, we will not let them compete. So that's the big pitch for uniforms. Again, you see highlighted there, the biggest thing that we had an issue with last year was athletic sneakers or athletic footwear that has grip to it. Again, for the most part, we're on a track or a gym floor, and if that gym floor gets a little wet somehow and you're wearing Crocs or slippers or slides, somebody's going to fall and get hurt. It's a safety thing. We want everybody to be safe. That's our primary concern, and then everybody gets to compete and have fun. Uh, Hope for us is that we can get the team divisions out to you guys so you know where you are competing in and who you're competing against by Friday, February 14th. With that said, we still have our indoor bocce state tournament that we have to have happen next week. We're still working on the GMS stuff for you guys, and we're waiting for some final data entry stuff to happen. So we're working on Friday of next week. It may trickle into Saturday or Sunday, but you will have it before Monday hits for sure. Competition questions from anybody? Alrighty. Tyler, I'm going to turn this over to you for awards because you own that part of the venue, and you know that better than everybody else.
Yep. So we're gonna have the award stage right in the same spot it was last year, right in that back right corner. If you're coming in through the hallway, we're gonna do the staging right on the track like we did last year. We'll have teams line up single file in a track lane, and from there bring you up division by division.
Perfect.
After that, oh, I was
No,
going to
you're
talk
good.
about the
You're good.
sportsmanship award. After that, we have the sportsmanship award, which will be new for you guys this year. We're going to put slips of paper in each team's packet. We ask that essentially during when you pick a lunch or just sometime before awards, you write down a team that you think displayed good sportsmanship throughout the day, and we'll tally up votes. Whatever team wins will get a special trophy.
Yeah, we will. We'll also try to do reminders throughout the day about the sportsmanship. It went really well in the fall. I will say, folks, just get competition focused. And while we appreciate you guys locking in, we hope that you guys take some time to acknowledge other teams that are doing a great job being good sportsmen, and you want them recognized. Also, good comment in the chat. You cannot nominate yourself. I don't think anybody would do that, even though you're all great sportsmen yourself. But you cannot nominate yourself. So, good reminder. Thanks, Mike. Tyler, anything else for awards?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Day of volunteers. I know 99.9% of your students and folks coming with you will be there to compete. But if you have somebody that's interested in being a day of volunteer, please reach out to Sam Boyd. We love taking on day of volunteers. Just a reminder, though, with that, if they are not 18 or older and they can't sign a form on site, you definitely need to reach out to Sam sooner rather than later, so they can get a form, they can have a parent sign it, a guardian sign it, send it back in, and even just show up with it signed. So again, if you have anybody interested in volunteering, please reach out to Sam Boyd. Here's my cell phone number. I think a lot of you guys have it already. We communicate throughout the year. With that said, if you don't have it yet, please take it down. if for some reason you are running late in the morning, send me a text, call me, whatever works for you. But please communicate to me that you guys are running behind, because then if you guys are running behind and we need to start competition, then at least we know, something happened coming down from Queen Anne's. The Queen Anne's Kent Island crew is running a little bit late. Okay, we're going to start Group A events. As soon as they get here, we will fold them into the Group A events. And then we realize that, we probably will go a little bit longer in Group A. We can make adjustments for that. While those schools finish up, we can adjust and have other people get lunch, so on and so forth. So please take down my cell phone number, text me if something comes up. Additionally, if between now and even Friday of next week you need to get a hold of me for something, you can send an email. Be patient, but if you need something right away, please reach out to me on my cell phone. We are going to be in Hagerstown for Bocce at least 2 days next week. So if you need me, grab me on my cell phone. Last pause for questions here. I don't see anything for chats, and I don't see anything for participants. Before we wrap up, Tyler, anything else you want to add about paperwork or scores or anything people should be expecting to turn into you?
Nope. Other than if I've reached out to you, just please make sure you get in your scores, roster, student paperwork, and make sure we're all set there so there's no eligibility issues.
Fantastic. Thank you. Meredith, anything on lunch forms or competition stuff you want to add besides us pushing it in the reminder email with the recording?
Nope, I think you covered it all.
Fantastic. All right. Well, with that said, thank you guys for everything you've done this season. We're super excited for states coming up in 2 weeks. We're super appreciative of everything you've done, not only just for Unified Sports, but in the classroom. That 8 to 2 p.m. window that everybody does as well. We recognize that you guys are teachers and coaches during the day and after school. So thank you for everything you do. And if there's anything that we can do for you between now and states, again, reach out, let us know, communicate with us, and we'll work with you guys to support you the best we can. Everybody enjoy their night. And again, we'll be reaching out soon.